Heidi ho, my crafty friends. This is Lori at the Ladybug Journals. How are you today? I'm so glad you joined me in the craft room. So I thought we would continue working on our little box journal. So as you can see, I've got her covered inside and out. And I just used paper. That's what I used. I just used paper, but I did get those corner covers on that I was telling you about. But this one I noticed I did not get down all the way. So let me grab my little pinchers here. I'm just walking over here to my drawer and getting my little pinchers in my paper towel that I put over top of them so I don't mark them up. So I can get that little corner down right there, because I didn't get it down all the way. There, that's better. Okay, I must not have got this one on all the way. There, that's better. Much better. There, okay. So what I thought we would put on these, on the cover of this, is I got these, well, I got a string around them. That's what I got. I got these two little wooden butterflies, and they're just, little laser cuts. But I got them at Dollar Tree. And gosh, I don't know how long ago I got them, but they have them, in their little craft section, and you can get all kinds of shapes. When I was in there, when was it? I don't know, just the other day, they had owls and all kinds of different laser cut shapes, and they're $1.25 for 2 or 3 of them. So, but I've had these for a while, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do with them. And I still don't know what I want to do with these, whether I want to paint them or I just want to leave them natural. I just, honestly, I can't decide on this. So you guys help me decide. Should I paint them to match, one of these colors? Should I make them white, or should I stain them? So you guys help me decide, because really I can't decide. I was thinking of this, see that yellow color right there? I was thinking of that yellow color, and it's also in here, with that color. I was thinking of that color, but I just can't decide. So you guys comment below and let me know what you think would be. And then I was thinking of placing them kind of like this on here, and then just gluing them on. So really and truly, you guys let me know your thoughts, because now I can't decide. And for me not to be able to decide on the cover, that's common. That's why most of my journals don't have cover adornments, because I can never decide what I want to do. Okay, so that's what I want to put on here. I do know I want to glue them, though. I want to glue them like that on here. I piddled and played and over the weekend, and I do like that layout on here. And I do know I want to put it like that, so you can see the writing on here. And I like this one the best. That's why I wanted it top. I just can't decide what color. So, and I did get the signatures all put together, and they just have to be cut and trimmed. And I got our little book kind of put together, and it just has to be trimmed. So I thought this little page we would put on here today. And I just kind of want to ink it up and glue it on. And remember, this little book is going to be the separate little booklet for the back. It's going to sit like this. And this little page is just going to get inked up. And the little booklet's going to get inked up. And it's going to just kind of sit on the top. And then inside, there's going to be, I think there's going to be like a nice big pocket. And then I found these two on a book page. They're just from a book page. And I'm going to cover the back of them with some cardstock. And the cardstock is right here. I should have brought it over. This is the cardstock we're going to glue it on today, and then I'm just going to slide them into the pocket to be like reference cards. So we're going to glue those on. And then I made this, or actually I think we made this together. It's an envelope. And now that the glue's dried, we can ink it up. And we can go on and cover here. And we can go on and ink everything up well. And then it'll get, it'll get sewed in. And then this page will go in, plus some of the cardstock. This will go in. And I'm thinking I want this to go this way. That way they can write some notes on it. Whoever has this can write some notes on it, like this. And then I want to put some just plain, where did it go? Where did it go? Here it is. Just some plain coffee dyed, just a piece of coffee dyed paper in here, and I need to cut it to fit or fold it, or probably I'm going to have to cut it to fit in here. Like this. And I'm going to cut these folded ends off, and then it will fit in here like this. And I might put a couple of pieces in there, that way notes can be written. So that's what's all's going to go in there. Now, in the bigger signatures, so this is the first page, and then this will go here. And then I think eventually this will be a pocket, and with maybe like a little, oh my gosh, I was outside this morning working in the garden, and I think the heat just kind of got to my brain. I'll think of it in a minute. Hanging off the side, and then there's some coffee dyed paper. This is from a book, and then this is the back side. This is the same type of paper that we have over here. And it's just cardstock. Oh, that piece is upside down. Those butterflies are flying upside down. Hold on a minute. Let's turn them the right way. There we go. I'm glad I saw that. And then some more coffee dyed paper. This piece is folded to give a pocket over here. And then this is just a printable that I've had for ages and ages. And then this was from a calendar. This is the other side. This was just from an old calendar that I had. Some old music paper, coffee dyed paper. And then this I want to put somewhere as a pull down. And see, it would mount like this and then pull down. I can't decide where I want to put it. That's why it's just laying in there. I can't decide where I want to put it or what I want to do with it. That's why it's just laying inside. This is from our flower book. Some more coffee dyed paper, but this time it's folded long ways with a side tuck. And another piece of our flower book. And I had thought about putting this here because it fits right here. Is our pull down like this, and then taking some white paper and making it fit just right down the middle. But when I tried it, it covered up all the butterflies. And so then when I flipped it over, to give us the white side, it covered up all the butterflies. And then I thought, well, maybe this just isn't going to work. But I really like this paper. So, we're just going to have to figure out what to do with it. So I thought maybe we'll just put it in here and maybe put a button, a butterfly button on it or something, or and pull it down, and just go on and put just go on and put our white paper on it for notes. Just a little piece here, here, and here, and leave and not cover this page, this part down here. Because I like having pull downs. You know, I like my journals being interactive, that you can do things like this. So that's why that's there. And actually, I want to get, here's my paper clips. I want to paper clip it, I think, where I want it, but I don't know that I want it there. Because the next page, this page is the center page, and it's a pull down. That's why it's got that on there. So you can take a hold of here and pull this down, and then you get to see the whole page. So that's why there's a paper clip on it, to remind me when I'm sewing pages in to pull this page down and not sew this page in up here, to pull this down so that I can sew in and not sew this together. Because trust me, I have done that many, many times. And then that's the back. And then, of course, here's the rest of the pages. That's the rest of the page that we folded in half. And as you can see, it needs trimmed. And that's the back of it. I just love that flower. And, well, that page I already trimmed off a little bit. So that just might have to come off of there. Either that or glue it down. Or that might be the page we put our pull down on. Maybe just make the other page the pocket and put the pull down on that page. That might work. And there's the rest of our bicycle. And here's this page pulls out. There's the rest of our butterfly page. There's the rest of our book page with the flowers. And then we're back to this page that sticks out. And we could fold this page in like this. But first I have to make sure that we're all going to fit in our in there before I do that. So that's our first signature. And I didn't want to do any trimming yet until I could make sure that everything was fitting. Now for the second one, you can see I haven't done anything yet. This was the little envelope that we made. Here are the tags. And I haven't put anything on the top yet because I haven't decided what I want to put on the top yet. Whether I want it to be lace or I want it to be a ribbon. I just haven't decided yet. You know, so I thought, well, that would be a good front page for the second one. And everything in here is pretty much the same, but until I can determine, I was doing this while I was watching TV, so I thought, well, I'm not going to do any cutting or folding until I can figure out. And I thought, well, I'll do all this figuring with you guys. And so you can see my process. And the reason I wanted to use this was because all the fronts of the signatures have a butterfly on them to tell us this is the front of the signature. So this and the first one have a flip out. See, it pulls out this way. And this one has the envelope. So here's another book page. And then this one pulls out. Or we can leave it closed. We can glue it closed as a side tuck in music paper. They're all kind of the same as far as what's in them. Now this one has another pull down. I think the second one might need a pull down book page in it. I don't think I have one in that one. I don't think I've folded it up yet. And then here's the back of it. And then this one, of course, can pull out this way. And I thought that was the prettiest page. So that's what we're going to have to determine, is if this one is the same as this one. So let's look and see. So there's a book page. And here's one that can be folded. So I know that that'll fit in there. Here's music paper. It's just folded differently. Here's that. Okay, I think it is missing this fold down book page. So let's grab that fold down book page. Now let me find it here. I think it came out of one of my state or country books. So let's look here in the Ireland book. I'm going to look here in this book. Let's look here and see if we can find one. Of the Irish countryside. Oh, that's very pretty. Maybe we'll use that one. Okay, let's use that one. Yeah, if you can ever find the books like of the 50 states or different countries, you know, Ireland, England, things like that, they have beautiful pictures in them. Okay, so I want to trim that edge up. So let's just make a light fold here. That edge isn't too bad. Let me grab my scissors here. I just want to trim this ever so lightly. Okay. Now, we're going to put this in our book. Now, before we can do any of that, I know, see that at the top? I know that this page is going to get trimmed. I already know that. So we're going to place this page in our book. And this is going to be the page. Now, let's see. This is, okay, that's small enough, so I know that fits. Let's take these two. Now, we know that these two, we're going to use our, let me move this out of the way. We are going to use the bottom of these right here. Oh, you can't see that. I'm sorry. We're going to use the bottom of our corners, and the top of our corners is our guide right here. That's going to be the height of our guide and the bottom of our guide. Okay. There. That's going to be our guide for our height of our folded page. Just like that. So I'm going to move that. So I'm going to line this up on a line. And I'm actually, oh, that page is shorter. All right, well, let's see. Okay, that's okay. So we'll go on and line it up. I want to line the taller one up here on a line so I can line my ruler up on a line. And I'm going to take my knife. Okay, these are the pages. This is the height of all the pages that all the pages in the book have to be. So for the width, let's do it. Let's measure instead. Let's just measure. They need to be no more than 4.5. So we're going to take this out. We're going to take it out to 4 3/4 because our book is our book is 5. So if we take it out to 4 3/4, we're good. Okay. So let's line this up on a line. Remember, our book is a 5 by 7. Okay, so this is the size that everything else has to measure up to. Okay, right here. Whoops. So when we put this in the middle, okay, I want this at the top. When we put this in the middle, we have to determine now. Okay, I don't want to cut off any of the flowers. So I don't mind cutting off a little bit of the sky, but I don't want to cut off a lot just because the blue, you know how the blue fades here and there. So I do want it centered. So let's fold it in half. Okay, so that's going to go in the middle, right there. And now the flowers, I'm going to fold up the flowers to where my bottom fold is just right above the bottom of the paper. And then I'm going to fold it back on itself. Okay. Just like that. Just like that. And then I'm going to put a paper clip on it to remind me that that's folded. And now the top, so I got to get it back in the middle. And then I can move my paper clip to the pages. There, now it's clipped to the pages. Okay. Now I can take that off of the top. Just like this. Okay, now my center fits. And I didn't take off all the blue. I just took off a little bit. Okay, now for the rest of this, we can bring it back. Now remember, we're working on signature number 2. I already know this piece fits. I already know that fits. See, my tags will go down. Okay, so I know that fits. This is my middle. And I know that's going to fit. Okay. So this, that didn't make sense, did it? Okay, so these two pieces here need cut. So I can measure these out according to what I've already done. Okay, let me get that down. Let's get all this down here. Now, before you can do any of this, though, you have to make sure you have everything where you want it, because once you cut it, you know, your pages can't go moving around because you've cut it. Okay. There we go. Now, let me grab another paper clip here and let me paper clip all my pages together so they're not wiggling around. Okay. Now, I'm going to lay this open. And I'm going to open this. There we go. Okay, now my top is where it's supposed to be. And now I'm going to do this side. Now, this I didn't want to cut. Remember, I didn't want to cut this. So I'm going to go on and fold that back so I don't cut it, because I wanted to fold that. Now, do we want to fold this, or do we want to cut it up this here? I want to cut it. I don't want any more of those folds. But you can fold it. If you don't want to cut it off, you can fold it. You can make pockets. You can, like we did on that other page, you can make folds. You can do whatever you want with it. Okay. Now I'm going to leave that out now because I do plan on folding it. Okay. There we go. So now I'm going to come back to this page. So I'm going to unpaper clip this side. And for this side, there. Now I could fold this out a little bit more, but I want that folded in because I want that to be a side tuck. Okay, so this one is ready to go. Okay, this one's done. Now I can do this side. Now, we already know it's 4.75 wide, and we were going to cut them. If it's 7 inches tall, then we should cut it. Let's see here. If we were using the inside of this, it's just a smidge under, it's just a smidge over 6.5. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, this one's right. So we're going by these pages. All right, so we need to fold this page back in. This is the page we need to trim. So let's decide how we're going to trim it. Okay. Well, maybe we don't need to trim it. Maybe we can fold this one up too. Let's fold this one up. Well, you know what? Actually, we can't fold it up because it's not in the middle. So I guess we are going to have to trim it, aren't we? All right, let's do it that way. Okay, but it's this page that we were going to trim off because I cut it at the bottom. Remember, I cut it. So let's cut this. Let's just go on and cut this piece off. Okay, like that. So one side will have a pocket and one side won't. And then this will sit here. And then over here is where we'll do our pull down. And maybe we'll add some lace to it. Maybe we won't make it something to write on. Maybe we'll just add lace on top of it. You know, make it different. Okay. Now let's make sure this fits. Let's make sure this fits. Okay, something is a little bit too wide here. So, all right, so let's just trim this off here. And maybe we'll just make that piece, some lace. All right, so let's check in here. We've drawn our line. So this piece is too wide. All right, let's see what we have here. We have a pocket. We have a pocket here. We have a pocket there. We have that blank piece and we have a pocket there. Okay, that's okay. So we can go on and trim those. All right, so let's get everything together. Let's get our pages down. Okay, the reason I checked everything was to make sure that we didn't have a pocket that was folded, you know, the other way. All right, so I want to cut on the inside of our line that we drew. Okay. Now this is the process I go through every time I make a journal. I go through and I check everything before I sew it in. All right, still sticking out just a smidgen, so I didn't cut something straight. I let something wiggle. All right, so let's line it up on a line. Oh my gracious, no, I didn't cut it straight. Okay. Let's try this again. Let's try this again, shall we? There, I think that might be better. Maybe not. I think right there is where I'm missing it. That's better. Yep, but I'm seeing down here where I didn't cut that straight, so I'm going to have to cut that straight. Okay, so let's get our table cleaned off here. Let's get the table cleaned off. Let me get the trash can here, and I can just scoop it into the trash. There we go. All right, so that one's good. That one's good. Now let's check number 1. That's the little guy. Now I already know that this one's too big. I can already tell by looking at it. Okay, so where are we going to cut this one? Okay, this one, I don't have a problem with trimming the bottom. Yeah, this one I don't have a problem with trimming the bottom. So let's go on and trim the bottom. Let's go on and put it back in here though, and let's see. Let's see what we need to do. I don't have a problem with trimming the bottom on that one. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. So let's trim the bottom of this one. Okay, where's the... Let's make sure everything is up to the top where it's supposed to be. Okay. Got some things that aren't straight here, so let's straighten them up. Oh, you know what? Let's take out the one that's folding though. That one. Yeah, let's take that one out. That one's okay. That one's the one that's going to get trimmed. Okay. Yep, if something else gets trimmed, it gets trimmed. That's just going to have to be the way it is. Then we'll just change it. We'll glue it if that's what happens. But we got to have it straight. Okay. Alrighty. There's that. Now just put this back in the middle. Okay, let me get back to the middle. Now let's put this in here. Let's see if we need to. All right, let's take these out. All right, I think we're good. All right, now let's make our thing here, and we'll worry about our little booklet in a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Is this gonna fit? There we go. It sure does. All right, I'm going to show you how I make my template. Okay, as you can tell, I just grabbed a scrap piece of paper. That's all I did. Okay, knife safety. Make sure you put your knife away. Okay. Now, I have 3 signatures, so I'm going to make sure that this is folded in 3s. Okay, let me move that out of the way. So I'm going to fold it in half first because I need to find my center mark. Okay. And everybody does this differently. Some people eyeball it. Some people want to be precise. Some people just guess on their, after they fold and, after they find center. Some people just say, I don't care. So this is going to be something personal for you. Okay, here's center. Okay, this is center. See my dot? It's where my up and down lines cross. Okay, right here. This is where my up and down lines cross. Right there. That's the center of this. So now I'm going to take, and I want to find half and half. I want to find where am I going to put 2 and I want to find half. I want to find where is the center between here and the ends. So I'm just folding my piece, what's left of it, from the edge over. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm just folding paper. Just like when we were little kids in school. That's all I'm doing. Okay? So I folded it again. So now I know where my center is for here and where my center is for here. Here's my center line all the way across. Or my center dot all the way across. Okay? Now if I were to draw that center line all the way up, here it is. And here it is all the way down. Now, the reason I fold is because, as you all know, if you have followed me any time, even 5 minutes, you know I can't draw a straight line with a ruler. I can't follow a straight line either. Okay, so here are my center dots. Okay, so I know that this is center, and I know that this piece of paper fits in here because I picked it up and I measured it. And it fits right there. Okay? Right there, it fits. So now I need to decide where am I going to put my holes for the top and the bottom. For me, I always put my top hole an inch down from the top and a half an inch from the bottom. Why do I do that? That always tells me, well, if I were to look at this and forget to mark it, my top is further down, then my bottom is further up. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. Some people do it exactly the same. Some people will fold and do it exactly the same from the top and the bottom. I don't. So I'm going to measure down 1 inch, 1 inch, and I'm going to make a dot on my center line. And I'm going to measure down 1 inch and make a dot on that line. And then I'm going to make a dot on that line. Okay? And then I'm going to put a T for top. And then I'm going to come to the bottom and I'm going to start at the center and I'm going to measure up a half a dot, a half an inch. And then I'm going to move over to this side and I'm going to measure up a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to put a dot, and I'm going to measure up a 1/2 inch on this side, and I'm going to put a dot. Okay, so here's my line. Here are my dots. Okay, here's my center. And now I'm going to put a B. Top, top, bottom. Now, if I forgot to put those on there, I would know just by looking at it, this is my top, this is my bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to write butterfly journal. Okay, and then I'm going to save this. Okay, now I'm going to punch my holes in my journal. So to do that, I'm going to lay this down and I'm going to put a paper clip at the top like that. And I'm going to take a paper clip and I'm going to put it at the bottom like that, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take my awl and for me, I start in the middle. Now that's just me, and I make sure that I'm centered. And to make sure I'm centered, I close up my book to make sure that I'm where I need to be. And to make sure that you're where you're supposed to be, you make sure that your template isn't closing in to either of the sides. So let me see if I can show you. So when you close it up, see in there? I don't know if you can see. If I were to take my ruler and lay it down, I'm not, can you all see? I don't know if you can see or not. I'm trying to show you. I'm not touching over here. See where that little line is right there? I'm not touching that when I close. See right there? It's not touching. Okay. So I'm going to take my awl and I'm going to hold this down, and let me grab my punch book so I don't punch into my table. Let me grab my book here. Okay. Let me put my book under me. And I'm going to hold my awl straight up and down like this. And I just punch straight through. And I always do my center first. And then it doesn't matter. Then you can do the top, the bottom. It just doesn't matter after that. It's kind of like it's the way I sew them in. I start with my center. But anytime I punch the holes like this is how I do it. If I'm doing my crocodile big bite, I do it the same way. I always make sure that I have my dots in the center of my lines. And that way, I'm always straight. Okay. Now they're poked, and then I turn it over, and there they are. Can you see them? See them through the butterflies? Right there. Now, if you have to, you can take your awl and you can punch back through to make your hole a little bit bigger so your needle will go through. If you have to. sometimes you don't have to. Okay, so now you're going to take this off of your book. There, you might be able to see that better. Because your awl really doesn't punch your holes very big. But you can punch this back through, and it kind of makes your holes a little bit bigger, so your needle comes through easier. There, that's a little bit better to see. Okay, so now we're going to take our signatures, and you're going to open them up to the center. And you're going to take now see, I would have done that upside down. And you're going to take your thing, and you're going to lay it down in the middle. Okay, and you're going to make sure that your top is to the top and your bottom's to the bottom. And remember, we had that folded up. So I need to unfold it now. Completely unfold it. And center this. Make sure my paper's where it needs to be. And then put a paper clip on your pages, because they will scoot around on you. They will definitely scoot around on you. They will, oh my goodness, as soon as you start putting that all in, they're going to start scooting. Okay, so put a paper clip in the top to hold them where they need to be. Yeah, the top will be the worst that they'll start scooting. Let me put some paper clips over here. There we go. Now you really can't put a paper clip in the bottom if you've got things folded like this, but you can put paper clip on them so they're not scooting on you. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to put your awl, you want to lay it flat on the line, okay? And you're only punching in the center hole right here. You're only punching that center hole. So you want to lay it down flat, and you want to close your pages as much as you can, and then you just want to push it straight through, just like that. Okay? That's all you want to do. And then open it up, go to your next hole, close your pages around it, and punch it through. Now, don't put your fingers up there where it's going to come through, because you'll end up poking your fingers. Now, down at the bottom, you got to really be careful, because at the bottom, that's where you're holding your pages. Okay. There we go. There's this one. Okay, and it doesn't matter what direction you sew these into. So for this one, I want this one to be my number 3. So now I can sew it in. Okay, I always sew in number 3 first. Okay, so I want that to stay there. So I'm going to sew this in first. So I want this to lay still, and I'm using white thread because the inside's white and the outside's a light color. So you need 3 times the height of your pages. So one, 2, 3. And I'm using wax linen thread. And come here. And you want to make sure that your needle is not too big, that it won't go through your holes, but that it isn't too big that it will, put a great big hole in your pages. Okay, I think this one will work. Do you have a smaller one? No. Okay. Now, you guys have seen me sew pages in many, many times. Okay. So you go in the center, and then you go in the center hole. I think I'm going to have to make my holes in my book bigger. There we go. Now, you don't want to lose your tail, okay? So don't pull your tail all the way through. So make sure you hold on to your tail. And then come in the hole that is in the same row as what you came out. And then come in the top hole of your pages. And gotcha. And your first signature is going to be your hardest. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Your first signature is going to be your hardest because it's going to wiggle around. And if you've never done this before, you're going to be a little intimidated, but it's really not hard. Now come all the way down to the bottom. Yep, you're skipping all those all the way down. Come all the way down. And you're going to go out the bottom hole. And it's going to be awkward, but that's okay. You can do it. Just come all the way out the bottom hole. And see what I'm doing? I'm lifting papers up so I can make sure I'm going through the hole. You don't want to punch a new hole. And then go out the hole at the back. Come out here. And wiggle and squirm it if you have to. There you go. But don't pull your tail through. And it happens to all of us. So if you do it, just pull it out and do it again. Now you're going to go back in the middle and you want to come back through that middle hole. Okay? But you don't want to split your thread. Now let me lift you up here a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Okay? So you want to go back through this hole and back through all those pages. Okay? There's my needle. Now I'm going to go back through all these pages. See? There I am. Now I'm going to put my needle on one side and I've got a thread on the other side. Okay? Take your needle out. Now you want your threads to be even. Okay? You want these to be even before you tie them off. So just wiggle them around until you get them that way. There you go. You can do it. Now this should sound like a guitar. Hear it? And then snug it up, but don't pull so tight you tear your paper. 1, 2, 3. And now tie a square knot. Left over right. And this is the hardest part for me. I can never remember. And then right over left. Come here, you. Gotcha. And then I always do one more, just in case I didn't do it right. Okay? Now, you can take off all your paper clips, fold that page up, pull your strings down, pull these over, and tell him welcome to his new home. Okay? You did it. Now you just have to do it 2 more times. Okay? So you're going to take your second one. Okay? And before you even poke your holes, before you even poke them, get everybody paper clipped into place. There's one. Let me see if I got a big paper clip in here for over here on the side. I think I do. Yeah. And here's 2. And then I'm going to put one up here at the top because they're wiggly. unpaper clip the bottom because that's folded, remember. I'm going to fold it down, but I'm still going to keep this folded up because I don't want to tear it. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing to this one as I did to this one. I'm going to take this. I'm going to find top to top. There we go. Put it in the fold. Put it in the fold. Now I can't. Now something I am going to do that I didn't tell you the last time is paper clip this in. It'll keep it from moving around. There you go. I don't know if, let's see if I've got another big one down here. Yeah, a big one might hold this in. Yeah, try and paper clip that in and see if it helps keep it from wiggling. Because mine was wiggling the last time and I was having trouble holding on to it. Okay, start in the middle, lay it down, fold your pages, push it through. Okay, now we're going to move to the top. If you have to, scoot your paper clip a little bit, lay it down, fold your pages over, and push it through. Okay, same at the bottom. Lay it down, fold your pages, and push it through. Whoops, I'm going to move my paper clip here a little bit. There we go. Lay it down, and then push it through. And make sure your fingers aren't in the way. Okay? Now leave your paper clips on there. You don't want them to take them off. Now remember, 3 times. 3 times the height. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's my height, not that. So let's make sure I did it right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I did it right. Okay. I saw that bottom piece and I wasn't sure. Okay, now where's my needle? There it is. Okay, this one should be easier for you. Okay, we're going to go. Now we got to take this off. You don't want to sew this in, so take it off. Come in through the middle. Okay. Remember, don't pull your tail through. Okay. Come in through the middle hole right here. Oop, did I pull that off? No, I didn't. Come in through the middle hole and pull it out. All the way out. Okay. Now scoot your pages over. Now come in through the top. Come in through the top. And then come into the top pages. Find the top hole. Now come all the way to the bottom. Find the bottom hole. I know it seems weird coming all the way to the bottom. And out the bottom hole of your book. We're going to come, and remember, make sure you're coming out the right hole. Right there. Okay, now I'm going to go back in the middle hole. Oops, don't want to pull my tail through. Right there. Now, when you take this through, now you notice I'm using a blunt-eyed needle. If all of a sudden your threads stop moving, then you have split your thread. That means you've sewn through your thread. So if you do that, just pull your needle. If you do that, then you just take your needle back through and just do it again. Okay. Okay, so let's straighten these up. There we go. They're not too bad this time. All right, so left over right. Okay, now let's take all of our paper clips off. Okay, we don't need this punch book. Let's get it out of our way. Okay, we can take these off the bottom and we can fold that back up. Okay, now we can introduce this one to its new home. Okay, here we go. Let's put the last one in. All right, let's get this one paper clipped into place before we do anything. Get everything paper clipped in. Oops, got it upside down again. Okay, see, things are moving here, so I need to get everything up where they need to be. There we go. That's better. Okay. Okay. Now let's unpaper clip the bottom. Let's see if we can get this paper clipped somehow here so it's not wiggling and squiggling. I think that's where it should be. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on this one. It's all repetition. Okay, lay it down, fold it over, punch it through. Okay, let me scoot that paper clip over a little bit. Lay it down, fold it over, move my hands, punch it through. Okay, lay it down. See how I'm laying it down? Fold it over and punch it through. Okay, we're done with this. And I'm done with those. Now, let's find our needle here. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I save my templates. That's why I write on the back of them, you know, what they are, because I make books all the time. So if I make another book that's this size, then I've already got this measured out and I don't have to do it again. So that's just something to think about if you want to save it. I just used one again just the other day. So, you know, that's something for you guys to think about if you like making journals. Okay, into the middle. Into the top. Okay. Now let's go into the top hole of the papers. And down to the bottom. Okay, now we're going to go through the bottom hole. Sorry, I keep flipping this all around here on you. Okay, let's kind of get that snugged up there a little bit. Now we're going to go back into the middle. Oh, there it is. I was thinking, uh-oh, what did I do? Okay, here's the middle hole of the book. Okay. Now I'm going to go back into the middle hole of the paper. Right here. Right there. Okay, so let's tighten these up. Oh, this is going to be such a cute little book. Okay. All right, we have got our signature sewed in, you guys. How fun is that? All right, let's take a look and see what we've got. Okay, so we've still got our threads here. So we can either leave them or cut them out, you know, whatever you want to do. Now, I like to just tie little bows on mine because, you know, sometimes I like to put charms. Charms, that's the word I was looking for. See, I told you I'd think of it. Sometimes I put little charms and sometimes I don't. You know, it just depends on what I feel like doing, but I don't ever just let them hang out. I don't ever just let the strings just hang there. So we'll just move those up. There we go. So we've got plenty of room for, see, we can even trim this page back here because that's going to make me crazy. We've got plenty of room for putting all kinds of fun stuff in here. And we can get our little book made. Let's see how much time we've used here. Do we have time to make our little book? Oh, goodness, no, we don't. Okay, so we'll make our little book the next time. All righty. So I want to thank you all for joining me today and for getting our little book, our little butterfly book put together. And I'll get this put together for us, and we will be ready to roll and have some fun with it. And Thank you to all my subscribers and all the new subscribers that we have. So don't forget to let me know what you think we need to be painting our butterflies, so that we can put them on our journal. You know, what color, or should we just leave them plain? You know, what should we do with them to decorate them? Or, you know, how should we decorate them? You know, what do you think would be the best way to decorate them on our journal? Honestly, I'm telling you, I really don't know, you guys. So I'm looking to you for some answers. So thank you all for being with me today, and for helping me, and for sharing your time. I appreciate it, and I hope you come back and see me again. And until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.